Hi everyone, how are you all doing? Hope everyone is doing well. So we know that we've been, MIA for quite a number of months, but we are back. We are back. How many months has it been?
It's been like probably
7 or 8, right? Because since March, so it has been a while.
It's
but
been since March.
I'm sure you guys have missed us. We've missed you too. And we just wanted to kind of ease ourselves in. So this episode is going to be just giving some general updates about the past few months, like what we've been up to, what has been happening. And yeah, hope you enjoy it. Solomon, winter is coming on. Are you ready for winter in the UK? Your first winter in the UK?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Sorry. Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Are you sure about that? You sound very no, but it's good to sound confident. Actually,
let me rephrase it. I mean, generally, I really don't like. I don't know if I would say I don't like cold. Right?
You haven't really experienced cold.
Exactly. So I can't like or
say
hate
whether
what
you don't
I haven't experienced.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have a human heater.
Hey.
As a married person, so winter is going to be calm. It's going to be calm.
I love that. I love
it's
that.
It's going to be cool. But yeah, a lot has happened.
But what do you think of the weather in general, though? Like, because obviously, like
the British weather is very bipolar. It's
that's the perfect word for it.
If you trust the British weather, you will trust anything. And if you trust the British weather, then you are capable of trusting that a cock can actually lay eggs.
No, what sort of example is that?
No, it's just an example of.
I would say that's a very Nigerian example, if you ask me.
How?
I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just an interesting example.
Yeah, but a lot has really happened. Having to get married, having you leave, Nigeria. Obviously, I think you left Nigeria 8 days after we got married, or 10 days. Getting married. Okay, so let me even start from the very top. Being in a long distance relationship, meeting only 3 times before we got married. In fact, 3 times until we got married, because the marriage was the third time.
The third time, yeah.
Getting married like that, and then getting married, your wife going back to England in less than 2 weeks' time, and then having to go through the rigorous process of applying for a spousal visa.
That process is not for the faint-hearted.
It's absolutely
honestly.
not. And then coming to England, right? Not even just coming to England, having a very at some point shaky application because of what happened.
Yeah.
Then all of that stress and all the money, right? And then moving to England for the very first time, leaving Nigeria, and living together as a new couple, and also being in a new country. It's just like starting afresh. On different levels, relationship wise, I'm starting afresh because I used to be single. Now I'm married. Geographically, I'm starting afresh
in a brand new country.
Even my experiences are also really fresh, because obviously there is a different society and a culture here that's different from where I'm coming from. So it was a lot of shocker. It wasn't a shocker, but it really disrupted me. I can imagine, because you basically went through so many different transitions in such a short period of time. So I can imagine that it must have been quite, I guess, quite is destabilizing the word, because it's like you had to like try and find your feet again and stuff. Absolutely. Look at the way we're just talking like what's it called? We are talking like you are the host. Not just even the host. You're talking like you are interviewing me, like the other day I was
because
in BBC and was just talking to me. Anyway, but is destabilizing. It's destabilizing because I know that I think that this is a very genuine opinion that I have. I think that if your partner, if you are getting married to someone who is in Nigeria and you are in the UK, and your partner does not love you enough, or they don't understand the dynamic of marriage enough or family enough, they might actually be resentful when they come to the UK and they have to start their lives afresh. Because
that's a very good point.
Yeah, the experiences you start to see in England, I would have just preferred being in Nigeria.
Like being in your comfort zone.
Yeah, being in my comfort zone, because
somewhere you know and are familiar with.
Absolutely, because coming to England, gosh, if this was boyfriend and girlfriend, I would have gone back to Nigeria.
Would you even have come in the first place if it was boyfriend and girlfriend?
No, of course, no. Your girlfriend, for people who are into that kind of, obviously as Christians, but for people, some people might be like, oh, just come over and see what it looks like. Maybe you want to stay for like 6 months, and then you can decide if you want to. If I stayed in England for 3 months, what is even 3 months? For 3 months, I'll just be like, babe,
bye. Deuces.
We need to go back.
We need to rethink this.
I need to go back. But I'm not saying that to say that England is just a hopeless country. Obviously, England is a great country.
Yeah,
it's a nice country. I think that they have beautiful people. I think that they have a beautiful culture.
Oh, what do you actually think about the people?
I'm coming to that.
You're coming to that.
Yeah, I think that England is a very beautiful place, but I don't know if people say this enough. I'm not saying this to dissuade anyone from coming or from relocating from Nigeria, any place in Africa, to England or maybe to Canada or US. But it is hard to move abroad.
Yeah,
it is hard, and I'll tell you why it is hard, or why it was hard for us. Because obviously it wasn't hard for us. God is good, but I'm talking about looking at it right now in hindsight, the whole package. We finished the wedding. Our wedding was not particularly cheap.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, right. After we finished our wedding, we spent almost over £4,000.
Oh, for the visa, yeah.
For my visa.
Spousal visa is very expensive.
Absolutely. So came into the country, right, in May, right? So it took, and then after that, then we had this window period where it was long distance marriage. Yeah,
from when I left till when you came in May. And that was not nice.
I used to think
not nice at all.
God forbid, what if this visa for some reason gets denied?
Is denied. Oh, that was my greatest fear as well. Oh my goodness, because I was in my head, I was just like, God, please, I cannot do a long distance marriage. Yeah, and no way. And
like, more than just that, if it's now denied, we will now have to
pay another 4K.
Ridiculous.
And then wait for longer.
So in my head, I was praying to God, God, there has to be some level of ease for us. Because even in our relationship, it was quite, you have to come to Nigeria. The first time you came by yourself. The second time, I think I did sponsor your trip. Yeah, you came by yourself. So it was not. So now we need some stability. We just want to be together.
Yeah, gosh, just want to be together forever.
Yeah. So, but when the whole immigration thing, I think we're gonna probably sometime in the future we're gonna do another video about the spousal visa, because at some point, the British guys actually got across to me that my IELTS, I actually did the wrong one. So anyway, long story short,
they wanted to give us heart attack, but I said no.
That really affected a lot of things, and then up until I came into England, and then coming into England, my first shocker when I came into England was the fact that In this country, you will learn to do things by yourself.
Oh, I thought you were even going to talk about the breeze that hit your head at the airport.
But to be fair,
one breeze hit Solomon's head. He said,
days.
Jesus.
there is no at Heathrow, like, guy, immediately we went to the car garage. There is this breeze that hit me. I was like,
it was a powerful one.
I was like, what is this? Is this the normal thing? So, but yeah. But my first realization rather coming to England was that you're gonna do it by yourself. And that's everything. You know, so let me give you a typical rundown of my life. Obviously, my wife knows. When I was in Nigeria, I was a big man.
Yeah. So shade, pop your color.
Like, I'll just be in the house. Hello. When can you come to the house? When are you going to? Okay, can you come and help me do the shopping? Can you come and clean my house? Da 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 da. You know, I was upper class.
Oh shit.
I could just sit down and be like,
class,
you know,
sorry.
okay, let this guy come and do everything, and then I just have to focus on the very serious things. But coming to England, the tables,
no such
obviously
thing.
everything is DIY. The tables, everything. I had to become a carpenter, become a plumber. Well, not plumber, but I had to become
carpenter.
Yeah, I had to become everything, and that was not easy at first. I was just like, you can't call anyone. You know, in Nigeria, see, I'm not going to say living in England is harder than living in Nigeria, but it's hard living in this country. In Nigeria, you can just call. You don't even have to call your friend. You can just be passing your friend's house and you just jump in, open the kitchen, self eat. Here, that's not happening. Or maybe you have some boys, you know, some people, you know, around. Can you come and do this for me? Da 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 da. And they'll come and do it. Maybe at the end of the day, you give them 10K, 5K. Even if you want to give them 50K self. Because as a rich person, well, by the grace of God, but as somebody that is stable in Nigeria, I could afford to, you know, give certain things. But in this country, so you want me to pay even the technician to fix the table £18 or £20? Are you okay? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just beyond me. Like, obviously, and guys, let me say something else. When I was in Nigeria, I could buy flowers, for example, £200 if I wanted to, and send to my wife. But in this country, when you come, you will now understand why £1 is so important. It's so important, guy.
Yeah, I guess it's just the whole point of you don't really have the same level of convenience as you did in Nigeria. Like and the same level or the same availability of people to like help you with certain things, certain tasks. Tasks. I have background.
But you don't really have that. So you have to do everything by yourself.
Or you have to be willing to fork out a lot of money to pay for someone to do it for you.
That's a lot of money. Why will I pay? For example, there was one of these tables that we were fixing, either this table or the other one. And do you know how much they said to call it? No, it was one we got from IKEA. And they said that, is it £30?
Yeah.
Now, just to give you context, £30 can take care of our maybe not, but £50 or a little bit less will take care of our monthly grocery. And you now take your monthly money to eat. And I'm going to give a carpenter for something that if you stay a little bit longer,
you'll
just figure it out by yourself. So that's very hard. And personally for me, integrating, obviously, as somebody who grew up in Nigeria, who was born bred in Nigeria, coming into England, it's quite, I think I did not really have so much of an expectation, right, when it had to do with what I thought or how easy I thought it was going to be. For example, maybe getting a job, all of that stuff. I wasn't really thinking that, England is heaven or the UK is heaven. But the reality of living here just makes you understand that it's tough. And the way it's tough in this country is that it's quite lonely. Now I see why people that are here, they might not want to talk to some people in Nigeria. I'm not saying when you leave or when you go abroad that you should cut off your friends. But what I'm saying is that I've told my wife, I don't know if I've told her before, but I've told someone quite close to me, yeah, thank God for my wife, thank God for the companionship that we share. I can share, my fears and everything with her. But it's still lonely.
Yeah.
And it's lonely because sometimes you just want to talk to somebody other than your partner. Obviously,
and that is completely, like, that is normal.
Yeah.
And that is even healthy. So I think it's even the aspect of you, because you had your friends in Nigeria, but then you having to now, like, kind of, I guess, build new friendships in the UK.
Not even just that. I would say that you can stay in the UK and not have friends. You can stay in Nigeria without friends and not feel it so much. But in the UK, you would start to see need for friendships. I can't even lie. As somebody that wasn't born here, as somebody that came here in my adult years, do you know, I don't have someone that I call and be like, what's up? What are you doing this evening? Let's go out. Obviously, I mean, apart from a couple, and those friends are friends from Adeola that are now close to me, right?
Yeah.
But apart from that, there is really, I don't have that. So, and when you want to, and this is one thing I think that Africans who are living in Africa, or maybe Nigerians, need to understand. A lot of your friends who live abroad, who live in the US, in the UK, in Canada, because they don't talk to you about their problems and their challenges, does not mean that they don't have it. They don't talk to you because you will not be able to relate to the kind of challenges that exist in England. I have never called someone in Nigeria that I know and be like, this are my challenges. Not because I am proud or because I don't want to show them that it's quite hard and tough in this country.
Yeah.
But because I don't know how they're going to relate. How will they relate? Right? So, for example, if you say, okay, it's been very, very hard doing this, doing that, you're just like, oh, in their head, the way typical, Nigerians think is, I mean, you're already in England, so you're better than me anyway.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
But now imagine you have to pay rent every month in England, and every freaking month you have to be thinking. Obviously, if you don't have something so stable, right? Especially as you just, coming into the country, you have to be thinking, okay, so how am I going to do that, bills? But in Nigeria, you can borrow in Nigeria, when I was in Nigeria, there was a time, that whole crypto thing. I wanted to buy a coin, and I just texted one of my friends. I said, what's up? Can you give me 1.5 million? I'll give it to you this weekend. It was like Friday.
Wow.
Can you give it to me? I'll give it to you on Saturday or Sunday. She said, account details. And I sent her the account details. I sent her back the money. What I'm saying is that, but in this country, you want to call somebody and say, hello, how far now? How you doing now? Please, can you give me £2,000? I'll give it back to you. Obviously, there are people that have that money, but there is so much opportunity cost for money here.
Yeah.
There is so much to pay to money.
A lot.
Do you know that when people dash me, let's say somebody gives me £50 right now, I'm already thinking, okay, cool. Wi-Fi bill, £30, sorted. Really? So,
wow. So what would you say has been the hardest thing? And I know there have been like
a lot of hard things.
Right. A lot of hard things, a lot of challenges. But what would you say is like has been the number one thing that you've been like, God, I beg.
I think I'm still thinking because a lot of things are hard. I don't even know, but I would say how it's really. I want to summarize it. I don't want to pick out a particular experience because I think you'll be looking for a particular experience. I want to summarize it in the sense that I would say it's just the way it takes you out of your comfort zone, and I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Coming to England.
I'll accept that.
Yeah, coming to England. In Nigeria, obviously, both. I didn't have a car. I didn't want to have a car. I just felt like I had so much of a very reclusive life that I didn't want to get a car. So that would have been a waste of money for me. More, maybe a show of status. Cool. But yeah, now, when I came to England, my anxiety at first, it was over the roof. Now in Nigeria, obviously, I struggled with, anxiety disorder. I was, diagnosed. But coming into this country, I was like, okay, I've never been on a train before. So
first time for everything.
Yeah, so the time that we got on the train, I'm like, I was always very panicky. Adeola has been so supportive. Thank God that now she doesn't always have to hold me. That time, a journey that's supposed to be 1 hour, we might be on it for 1 hour, 30 minutes. Because I'll be like, oh, my chest, I'm having a panic attack. Let's sit down. Adeola will be like, I believe in you. I think you can do it. Okay, let's use the elevator. Sometimes, a lot of times, it takes more time to use the elevator than it is to take the stairs.
Or the escalators.
Yeah, going to church was so much of a pain because or even walking on the road sometimes, it's just my body sensing that this is not the usual. And then I start to freak out, And then other experiences like I said, just the individualistic nature of the British people. And when I say the British people, I mean even Nigerians that live here. Well, anybody that lives in the UK, just the Western world, quite very individualistic. You have to do things by yourself. And if you want labor is so expensive.
Yeah.
And if you want some luxuries, it's so expensive. So for example, our church used to be at West London, the one that we attend. Now, from our house to West London, it's all in London, probably will be like maybe £5 with the public transport.
I think a bit, a bit more.
Yeah, maybe £5.
Without a rail card, a bit more.
Yeah, without a rail card.
Maybe like 6.
That's for the to and fro.
Yeah.
Now, and let me also bust your brain, right? The train might be sometimes faster, right? It might be sometimes faster because obviously London is very big, number one. Number two, the roads might be congested. Now, but to use Uber from church, there was a day I was so anxious. And I was like, I don't think I can use the train. I don't think I can use the train. I don't think I can use the train. I opened my Uber app. I saw whether 40-something pounds. I closed it back.
It go shock you.
I'm like, hold me, let's go. Let's find a way to go.
Let's go.
Let's find a way to go. I'm telling you, sometimes, okay, shocking story, right? There was a day we had a friend's wedding at Essex, and Adeola was one of the chief, is it chief bridesmaids? Yeah, she was actually the chief bridesmaid. So, I was to come to Essex by myself. I remember this
story.
Yeah, I was to come to go to Essex rather by myself. And just to give you guys some context, for the first 3 to 4 months, 3 months that I came to England, I could not leave the house without my wife. I couldn't use the train without Adeola because I knew that I would panic. I knew I would just get panic attacks. And yes, I was still on my meds, but my GP here reviewed my medication. They took away diazepam, that's Valium. They took away Valium. They said I couldn't take it. They actually told me, okay, I can take propranolol. And then I was still on my antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication. So for just so that you know the intensity. But that day, I had to go to Essex by myself. When I got to Essex, when I got to the train station, I was going to tap out and then get a cab, and because obviously Essex, they don't really have a train system like London. So got there. Do you know I could not pass where I was meant to tap out because I was literally panicking. I was having a panic. I was calling Adeola on the phone. I can't pass here. My body's shaking. My hands are shaking. What will I do? If it was not that, it was the wedding of a friend, Adeola's friend, who obviously now is our friend. She's, someone that we really value. I would have just
gone back home.
I would have just gone back. I would have just gone back. Yeah. But anyway, Sha. The train, all of that stuff, and then just settling down. For example, my career, Nigeria, very doing well, da 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 da. Now coming into England and trying to situate a new, career, or even trying to import your career from Nigeria down here, there will be some. It's not easy. It's really not easy. It's really not easy.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been ranting.
Yeah. The thing is, I want to ask you one more question, just so that, what would you say is the easiest thing?
When you say easiest, in what aspect?
In terms of settling in, adapting, to the life in the UK and things like that.
Settling in, adapting.
What have you found joy in, or apart from me?
That's the easy.
Apart from me.
That was the easy.
Apart
answer.
from me, what are the, it can even be some, just little things that you've really grown to like, you've grown to
I've grown
cherish.
to like the tea, the British tea, the English tea. I've grown to like that. I've grown to like taking walks.
No, but you used to like taking walks in Nigeria now.
But I did not used to take them. I didn't used to take them because they might kidnap me. Obviously, I'm just joking. But
Okay.
I think I'm just grateful. I think that the easy thing for me has just been the fact that it's quite an inclusive society. When I mean inclusive, I mean, within reason and morality. Thank you. I think it's quite inclusive in the sense that, for example, that day that I was shivering at the train station, it was one of the attendants that I spoke to, and I was like, I'm feeling, and he held me. Obviously, I'm not saying that they will always be that kind, but they are quite generally polite. It's so much of a tradition that you don't know when they even mean when they are doing it out of actual kindness. I mean, they are just doing it because, anyway, this is just what I need to do. Do you get what I'm saying? So, for example, when you get into the train and you need to stand up for elderly people to sit at the edge, there are people who just probably, oh man, come and take your seat. They don't really care. But, anyway, they will still show that gesture.
Yeah.
Right?
Gesture.
Gesture. So much is the word. Gesture. It's not
Saying
that
a gesture.
No, I live in England, so if I make that mistake, it's fine.
No, it's not.
You're speaking to
Nobody else.
Williams.
Nobody. Sorry, sir.
Anyway.
Sorry, sir.
I think it's quite a very inclusive society. So, for example, if you're looking for jobs, there are actually arrangements for people who struggle, who have those kind of struggles. That's one. Two.
I like the fact that there's more than one easy thing. So that's good.
Two, I think that it's quite safe coming from Nigeria, please, because London is crazy. So London can be very unsafe. So, but I'm just saying it's safe knowing where I come from. So, I can take walks. I can whatever.
In the evening, late evening.
The other day I took a walk by 12.
But you can't do that in Nigeria.
Yeah, you can't. Even here, Seth, when I was coming back, I saw some boys. They were walking anyhow. I was like, man. So even here, it's not. You
still have to be safety conscious.
Safety conscious, right?
Yeah.
And then there's something that actually dropped in my head, but for some reason it's just strayed away. Now, again, let me actually buttress on the inclusiveness or inclusivity. You can't get lost.
I mean, you can get lost, but there will always be people to help you.
No, more than even people, even the tube map, right? For example, it's easy to actually read. It's easy to know, okay.
Sometimes, I think it's for some. There are some people that would actually find it hard to read. But I feel like the TFL system is just so good with signage.
Yeah.
And even with the little, the information points that they have as well, where you can literally press to speak to somebody at the station and like tell them your issue or whatever. Like, yeah, so you can get lost, but there will always be people around, be it staff members at the different stations, or just random people who will be more than willing to help.
Yeah. There is that, and then there is finally God. Church community. Church community has been helpful. Because I don't have friends, so going to church.
Friend.
I have some friends because now that I'm now saying I don't have friends, when is that you watch this?
But they'll be like, what? So we're not your friends.
Yeah. So church community has been so helpful. I just feel like I want to talk about things that I'm grateful for, because it felt like I've been ranting.
That's why I chipped that question in.
Yeah.
So that is
as much as so.
Even with anxiety, I feel like you've made a lot of progress, and like, yeah, I just thank God for how far you've come, because I remember those initial first few months, how it was, and right now
I can even go out by myself.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll still sometimes here and there, but
but it's a journey, and
at least I'm the one who goes for the grocery shopping every time, so it doesn't but as much as there is a lot to complain about moving to England and as much as there is a lot to complain about moving to England and the inconveniences it's really caused me, how difficult it can be in this country, how individualistic it is, how just very painful integrating into this country is. I've seen threads where people say, Nigerians say, after work I was just crying, or or one lady even said she normally calls her family back in Nigeria and just tell them to listen to her cry, right? But
bless her.
While it's easy to complain about all of that, I think that one of the things I'm so grateful for is the fact that I came into England with a spousal visa, right? The fact that I came into England not having to be panicking for, okay, will employers actually not want to take me because I would need sponsorship to stay, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm so grateful for my wife, because if I came into England by myself and I saw this well arranged and ordered mess, I would have just been like, peace out. I would have just like, peace out, bye. I would go to Kenya and buy Nairobi. I'll relocate to South Africa, or worst case, I'll buy Uganda.
Can you imagine?
I'm so sorry to Kenyans, Ugandans, and all of that.
Please don't mind them.
Yeah, it just. I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful that I came on a spousal visa, so I don't have to. I don't have to worry, because even people Nigerians who are in England are hardworking.
Yeah,
I need to say,
very hardworking.
I need to say that Nigerians who are in England. Do you know, when you come into England,
the hustle is real.
With a study visa, when you are done studying, you don't have like 1 year of post-study visa. That 1 year, you need to find a company that is going to sponsor your visa.
Work visa.
It is so hard.
Yeah.
Now, already, for people who even have permit to stay in England and work in England, it's already hard to find a job. Now, how much more finding a job that will actually spend probably almost £6,000 on your head to actually keep you in England? Yeah,
like, because I think what makes it even tougher is the fact that not all companies
can sponsor.
Offer. It's not even can. Not all companies choose to sponsor. Like, not all companies do that. So that already reduces their pool, so to speak, of companies that they can even apply to. Yeah. And then on top of that, obviously, it's going to, because there's only so many companies that actually offer that sponsorship. It's very competitive.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm also, Another thing I'm so grateful for moving to England the way I did. I'm so grateful for my wife, Adeola. And the reason I'm saying this, it's not just one of those times that you just want to be sentimental and say, oh, I'm so grateful. But it's not, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Moving to a new country when it's just you is different. But moving to a new country when you have someone who was raised there is also different. See, the fact that there was someone to pick me up at the airport, my wife obviously picked me up at the airport, tell me this is how it's done, this is the card you use, this is the way you've got, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It gives you some level of confidence that there is someone who's been here longer than I have been, and this person lives with me every day, right? But when you are coming into the country and you're telling all your family at the airport, bye-bye, it's just you. As you are coming in, you are looking for a house, you are looking for a job. Nobody's telling you this is how it is done. If you are one of those people, you need to be proud of yourself.
Honestly, and give yourself a big pat on the back, because I can't imagine how daunting it must be for people to just come by themselves and just have to figure things out by themselves. And the thing is that's why I personally, this is just an aside, but I personally make it a habit just to be extra nice to everyone, because you don't know what people are going through.
People can just be on the train like this. You don't know that lady is thinking about
you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what has happened that day, or even that year, that week, that they may be troubled about. That's just an aside, but you guys are the real MVP. Every single person that has come by themselves to study or work, kudos.
So that's been it, and obviously I feel like we don't have so much time.
Yeah, right? We've really spoken for a long time.
Well,
you've spoken for a long time.
I mean, it's really about me.
No, but yeah. You are the one that came.
I still have a question for you or two.
For me, okay.
But the thing is, all of these things, obviously, very grateful to God, and having to manage this and manage a new family, getting to know Adeola and my wife on a level that I have actually never known her. All of them together is so daunting. Yeah, it's not easy, because there is already, as couples, there's already that phase where you're going to go through, that you need to get to know yourselves. You probably are going to fight a lot. There will be some misunderstandings. There is already that, and then there is now, moving to England and also figuring out
on top of that.
So it's been quite. It hasn't. There has been tension. But the good thing is that there is God, and you marry someone who knows that, or who is always in your camp, right? And you're always in their camp.
Yeah.
And you just have a couple good people around you. You don't need too many. Even just one person, two people, are just enough around your life.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is really what's really been happening for me, and obviously that has really affected not being able. In fact, even from our wedding planning, I was already zoning out from content creation. I'm not saying I don't want to do it. I will still be doing content creation, but the inspiration, there's a lot of plan.
There's too much going on in your mind.
After wedding planning, wedding happens. My application to the UK. After my application to the UK, we're thinking about I'm in the UK. Now in the UK. Okay, life in the UK. How do I pick up again? How do I start my career again here? All of those things. Sometimes you just open Instagram or Twitter. I used to write every day. I used to post stuff every day. I remember. I still do. I still do, but
it's not at the same rate as you used to.
Yeah. So now my question to you goes.
Okay.
How has it been? Me coming to England, how has it impacted you?
How has it impacted me? It's been really interesting, I would say. Really, really interesting. Just again, trying to adapt, right, to living with a completely different person. So before before like we got our flat and before Solomon came, I was staying in a I was staying by myself. So, and obviously, you know, you have the way that you like to do things. You have your processes, you have your routines and all of that. And then, you know, just adding another person into the mix, you know, with a different culture. Well, yeah, different culture, different upbringing. It has been quite tough to like adjust. But I think what I love about it is that, like, I think that is what it's all about anyway. Like, that's what marriage is all about. It's about continually learning your partner as they continue to grow and evolve as well. But yeah, it's been an interesting journey so far, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. But last question. What is the most what I'm trying to think. What do you love most about me moving to England apart from just our marriage?
Like, just it's like living with your best friend. Like, and I absolutely love that. Like, you know, I can just I mean, I can't really take our marriage out of it because our marriage
is the basis for me coming.
And not just the fact that it's the basis for you coming, but the fact that we're married gives me I don't know the word, but it gives me 100% access to you.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I can
my food, to my drinks, unsolicited access.
Unrestricted, that's the word I was looking for. Get out. It gives me unrestricted access to him, right? Like, so because I mean, we've lived with well, I said I have lived with like people before and stuff, and you know, no matter how close you are with someone, there is still that kind of those boundaries, if that makes sense.
Restrictions.
Those restrictions. But I mean, me and him are one. We are one. Do you get it? So, like, you know, I just have unrestricted access. I can go and disturb him. Yes, he might get annoyed, but that's his business. Like, I can just I think it's just that safe place to really be myself completely. Because like like what's that thing that I used to say? See finish. Like, yeah, it's just that safe place to just completely be myself and just knowing that this is the person that I am going to be with for the rest of my life. And yes, we may make mistakes now, but we have the rest of our lives to figure it out.
Yeah.
And you know, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Like, we are both committed to each other completely, unconditionally as well. And yeah, I really, really love that.
Yeah,
I love that the freedom that brings. I would say, yeah.
What's the question again?
What is the
what do you like
best? Yeah, like what do I like?
Best thing. I think that it's just been very. I can't even remember.
It is well. Well, there was actually something else. Whilst you remember, there was something else that I wanted to touch on. In terms of, I guess, adjusting, like, so another thing that I had to really adjust to was the anxiety right?
I actually think that we should do a whole episode
On that, right?
on how to help, how to support your partner that struggles with a mental disorder.
Yes, because there's a lot to unpack.
When I was writing the notes for this, I was, we could but I knew that if we delve in there,
it's gonna be gonna but
be very long.
Let me just touch on it lightly. Like, actually, no, let me not. I don't think it's possible for, because I was thinking about the things I want to say, and I'm just like, so that was kind of another layer that I kind of had to adapt to and get used to, and support him through, but also in my own self learn how best to support him through as well. I'm gonna leave it there, because otherwise we're just gonna start another complete different topic.
But generally, I'm very grateful to God. I'm grateful to my wife.
Yeah.
I'm also proud of myself. I'm grateful to
I'm
the
proud of you too.
Yeah. It's been very interesting. But at the end of the day, I think that for me, it's just one of those times where you show your strength, that you trust yourself, and you trust God, that there are so many new beginnings, and that growth, allowing yourself to grow, even if it means starting afresh, is a beautiful thing.
Very beautiful.
It's beautiful because
it's hard work, but it's beautiful.
It reminds you, when you look at it in hindsight, it reminds you of your strength, of your consistency, of your resilience. There are things that are happening right now that I know that probably in the next 2 years, even 1 year, maybe even 10 years, I'll be like, oh gosh, more.
I remember.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember when that.
So, but it's just nice seeing myself grow. And marriage is not easy. When you get married at first, you feel like your life has just changed. Sometimes you even want to start complaining. I can't even do the things.
What's up, like that I used to do? What's happening?
The days just go by so quickly. If there is any content creator that has a day job, married, him and his wife, they create content together, they are married, have a day job, and they create content consistently, they are trying. I think it's easy anyway, but it's not just about me, because I have somebody else. So I can't just be thinking about me.
Sorry.
So
but
I mean, at the end of the day, that's it. I'm really, really grateful, and we're going to be very consistent.
We're gonna do better, guys.
We're going to be very consistent, and we said we're going to be dropping. We're actually supposed to be dropping 1 episode a week. I hope you know. That was when we started. That was what we said, but we decided to do 2 episodes a week. So we're going to be
2 episodes a week.
Sorry, 2 episodes a month, because that
2 episodes a month. Okay, please.
Yeah, you were not in Nigeria. Oh, well, we pre-recorded in Nigeria, but we just had to
tweak something.
We now have to make it weekly. Yeah.
No, let's ease in now, guys. Guys, support me, please, in the comments.
Guys, let me know. Do you want it bi-monthly, or once a week?
Guys, please support. Have Maisie, guys.
Yeah,
have
but
Maisie,
thank you so much, guys. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Subscribe, if you're like, share.
Absolutely, subscribe, like, share. Share it with your friends.
Comment as well.
Share it with your friends who your friends and your enemies, and also follow us on whatever podcast platforms that you're listening on. Maybe Spotify. You are listening platforms. On Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. Please make sure that you follow. And you favorite it, so that you will always see notifications. But in the absence of anything, that sounds so formal. But thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
The Strings Unlocked podcast. My name is Solomon Buchi, and there I have
Adeola Solomon Buchi.
Yeah, have an amazing time. See you. Bye.